Countess proved to be pretty simple to rework in the My Hero Rework series. Her passive gave a little... It was a little tough to come up with the passive, but I'm actually kind of happy with it the more you think about it. Otherwise, she was pretty simple. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to My Hero Rework series. I am Sylphin. And, well, it's Countess. She was kinda simple, and I'll explain why. One couple of things right off the bat. One, this in no way represents what Unleashed Games is going to do, will do with the heroes. It's just my idea that we came up with the community as well on a couple of streams. 2, hero passives are coming back for Unleashed Games Paragon 2, so we gotta think of something that fits with Countess. 3, I like the idea of a quest mechanic. The more you use an ability well, the more you just are successful. The more that ability gets empowered and it does something awesome. And, you know, I think that's compelling. It's definitely an added mechanic that would, it would definitely help. Definitely help engage you into the game and reward you for being skilled as well. Now, Countess. Her niche, her theme, her gameplay style, the purpose that she serves in the hero roster is very clear. Everybody on stream was like, high burst assassin. We were like, high single target assassin, but 2 of her 3 abilities, well, two of her 4, but 2 of her minor abilities are AoE, technically. So she can actually do some good AoE damage, and that was actually, you know, if you could position yourself appropriately, especially for Dark Tide, Blade Sylphin, it's just an AoE. It's just a circular, spherical AoE around you. Can't really position too well for that, but especially Dark Tide, if you positioned well, you know, you could get some value. So, yeah, her Shadow Slip and her Feast are very single target. She's not entirely a single target as maybe you would think. So just be careful if you think that Countess is purely single target. Shinbi is very single target. Countess, she definitely has some AoE potential. So she's a high burst assassin. And how can we make that more with her passive and her kit? So as you guys can see, not much has changed. Her Blade Sylphin is the same. It will still deal damage in an area around you when you last hit a hero. When you last hit a minion, you get percentage-based health back. Maybe that does have to be, that certainly have to be tweaked. Of course, all the numbers in all of this is just throw the numbers out the window. Just get the concept of what is going on, just to get the idea. Throw the numbers out of the window. I just tried my best with the numbers. The Blade Sylphin would still give you stuff back. The Dark Tide still just will deal damage in this weird shaped thing in front of you. And fantastic, deals damage. Feast, single target, kaboo, it'll deal fantastic damage, and that's great. It's all great. Shadow Slip is the one that I added the quest mechanic in, and then her passive is actually really cool. We wanted to kind of emphasize her, re-emphasize, or just emphasize her vampiric nature. She's obviously very vampire themed, and we wanted to do something with that. So, for every 10% of Countess's missing health, she gains 0.5, 1.5, 2% ability damage, and magical lifesteal. So, if she's missing 50% of her health, that's 5 times that, then she gets 10% ability damage, 10% magical lifesteal. Maybe the magical lifesteal is 0.5%. It's on a different scale, and she gets less. Again, forget the numbers. The less health she has, the more ability damage and magical lifesteal she has. She's like a vampire. As weak, the more weak that they get, the more fickle they get, the more hungry they get, and more ravenous they get. So she, you know, if she's low in health, well, she may pack a little bit more of a punch than you think and be able to lifesteal that back. She did have sustain. She did have a sustain part to her. Her blade siphon did give her, it still will, at least under my idea, give her sustain. So she actually had some sort of a sustain mechanic within her, and I actually kind of like that. She's a vampire. She should be able to get life back. She's a freaking vampire. And I always thought that was a little bit lacking on her, to be honest. Her blade siphon, that part of it was never that much. So adding in that magical lifesteal, more ability damage, that feeds into more lifesteal for her missing health. You can kind of see that feeds into each other. It adds that to her, and maybe I thought she was kind of missing that a little bit. Maybe she could go into the solo lane. Little bit more lifesteal stuff like that. I don't know. It just adds something really enticing. You know, if she does get focused, like, you kind of have to focus the Countess, or else she's going to kind of wreak havoc on your team. Well, got to be a little bit careful, because if you don't completely obliterate her, well, if she's low health, she may have the capability of coming back. So, yeah. A couple things that people were like, oh, that's way too crazy. Remember, as soon as she uses any of her abilities at low health, she'll heal, reducing the amount of ability damage and magical lifesteal she has, because she'll have more health. Some people were like, oh, but if she's at like 5% health, she'll use 3 abilities and she'll be back up to full health. No, the first ability she uses will be very empowered, and then it'll get less and less empowered the more health she gets, because she'll use more abilities. So just remember, yes, if there's a 5% health Countess that uses Feast on a carry, yeah, she's gonna get a lot of value from that. But if she just uses a little Shadow Slip, it's not gonna get much value. She'll gain a little bit of health, and etc, etc. So just be careful when you think about that. Now her Shadow Slip, everything else is the same, but her Shadow Slip, she slips to a target, dealing some damage, leaves a shadow of herself at her original location. Up to 2.5 seconds, she can reactivate the ability, use other abilities, slipping back to her original location. Check this out. If 2 abilities are used on enemy heroes within 2.5 seconds of dealing damage with Shadow Slip, a total of 15 times, so you have to Shadow Slip onto a target, deal damage with 2 abilities within 2.5 seconds. It doesn't matter if you Shadow Slip back, actually. A total of 15 times, 20, 25, whatever that has to be. Countess always seemed like a little bit of a late game assassin. I don't know. Maybe that could be tweaked in I don't know. Countess will gain 10% ability damage for the duration of her Shadow Slip. So, if you can use 2 abilities on an enemy hero within 2.5 seconds of originally Shadow Slipping onto a target, you will then permanently gain 10% ability damage while between the time you Shadow Slip onto a target and Shadow Slip back. 10% ability damage. Something like that. You're empowered when you use your Shadow Slip. And, you know what? It's pretty sick, because in the late game, you know, you probably don't want to just run up to the enemy carry, because they'll be looking for you, you know, and they'll just like 5-shot you and you're dead. You likely want to Shadow Slip onto the target, close that range, use a couple abilities that deal increased damage from that, use your Feast, you know, get that increased ability damage, and then Shadow Slip back, because, you know, the rest of the team will be like, oh crap, there's Countess on the carry. Stuff like that. I think it's really good. That is the Countess combo. Shadow Slip into a Blade Siphon that was animation canceled. It was kind of really weird, into a Dark Tide, and then the enemy's like, huh, there's a Countess on me, and then Feast, and then they're pretty much dead. That was the Countess combo. This emphasizes that, and emphasizes that amazing gameplay that felt so good to do on Countess. That's my rework, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty simple. There's not really much to do with Countess. She serves a very good purpose, a very clear purpose, and I think this brings out her nature a little bit more, and definitely have some fun. Countess, the nuance to Countess is how you play her, and I think this enables you to get more nuance from it. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. A lot of people love the Countess and mained her and spent a lot of time playing Countess. So to you guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this. Please like the video if you like it, dislike it, share it, the community. Of course, guys, subscribe if you want more content like this. And definitely let me know and discuss this down in the comment section below. Till next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.